Coming up on today's show, we will recap Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, along with Game 3 of the College World Series. We will give our thoughts on MLB action as we are just a few games short of halfway through the season, and we have a scorching hot take from producer Garrett that is sure to spark some debate. So stay tuned for the Norse Benchwarmers podcast.
Welcome back to the Norse Benchwarmers podcast. I'm your host, Joshua.
Host? What do you mean, host? I leave for 1 week, and you think you're the host? Give me back my seat.
Fine.
Give me back my seat. Give me back my seat. Come on. Back where you belong.
Take your Gatorade.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Welcome back to the Norse Benchwarmers podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, here joined by producer Josh Northcutt and co-host Ben Miller. And of course, how could we forget our director, Garrett Jordan. Yeah, I shouted you out at the beginning for once. Are you happy? See, new, back in the host seat, new things going on.
I taught him.
You may have taught me. But, yeah, it's been a while, guys.
Yeah, how was your little week off,
Week off is a little bit of an overstatement. But, yeah, it was nice, a little extra time away from you all, especially Garrett. I did climb. Not with my feet, just with 4 wheels.
Oh, okay.
Great to hear.
Still climbed, still got up the mountain. Good stuff.
Good times.
Cool. Yep.
But so we got a lot to talk about in a little bit of limited time today. It'll be a little shorter episode. We're going to start with what happened last night, the NHL hockey game 7. Florida won 2-1. Edmonton wasted all of our times.
Yeah.
Could have ended this in 4 games, but it made it interesting. Got it to 7 games, and Florida ended up winning 4-3. This is their first Stanley Cup ever in their 3-decade history as a team.
Yes.
What do you think, guys?
You want to go, Ben?
Yeah, that's fine. Overall, I thought it was a really good game, and overall, just a great series between these two programs. Florida, they were up 3-0 to start off, looking like they were going to win it easily, but Edmonton, they just didn't give up. I mean, they climbed back to even it out at 3, and they gave it their all in this Game 7, but overall, congratulations to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, for me, did you both watch the game?
I watched the second half.
Okay.
I watched most of the first period.
Okay, so by the time the third period hit, Edmonton was gassed. Like, you could just tell their legs.
I did watch the end of the game, and I could see
their legs gave out, and especially 2 minutes ago, they're pulling the goalie, and they can't get past center ice. So kind of just what everybody thought would end up happening in the long run is just Florida had a little more stamina. Mm-hmm. They were a little bit deeper of a team. But I do want to mention only the 6th time in NHL history that the losing team had the MVP of the playoffs, and Connor McDavid. He set the record for 42 points, 8 goals, 34 assists. However, he was scoreless in his last 2 games.
Yeah.
That plays a big part, especially in Game 7. Superstars show up.
Right.
And the superstars for Edmonton did not. Mm-hmm. The 3 I mentioned last week, Richard, Draisaitl, and McDavid, plus Hyman and Hopkins. That is their power play 1. That's the most important power play goal setting the tone kind of part of the offense. 0 goals, 0 assists, 10 shots.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Florida's 2 goals, 1 assist, 10 shots. There's your difference. Mm-hmm. Yep. One line showed up, the other one line didn't. Gets the job done. So congratulations, like he said, to the Florida Panthers, and thanks for helping my wallet.
Despite all of that, though, I felt like Edmonton still had a chance throughout that third period. There's many instances of them getting in scoring position, and
how McDavid did not score that goal right in front of the net. I still have no idea.
Yeah, and there's a couple instances of that where there just be chaos. I'm like, somewhere in there you can get a window, right? But. I mean, Ben, you got anything more on that?
I mean, just going back to the third period with about 7 minutes to go, this play had me on the edge of my seat. I thought Edmonton was going to score there. I mean, they were scrambling for the puck. I was hoping for a 2-2 tie to hopefully take it into overtime.
No.
Josh was not. Josh certainly was not. But.
I mean, just being a sports fan, that's all you can ask for.
Same here. Absolutely. Same here.
Nothing better than Game 7.
Speaking of being a general sports fan, we got the College World Series, Game 3. Tennessee took it all, defeating A&M 6-5, their first title in school history. So a couple of firsts last night. I will be honest, I was focused on the hockey game, and that kind of slipped my mind, the College World Series, so I'll let you guys take it away.
I flipped back and forth between the two. The College World Series started beforehand, so it was a little bit of luck. But the game started off extremely hot with Christian Moore hitting an opening or leadoff home run for the Tennessee Vols, and they kind of didn't look back until late in the innings. A&M would not quit. The little bit I caught of it, great game, and nice job by Tennessee rallying from 1-0 down after dropping game one.
Yep, for sure. But I wasn't able to watch this game last night. I was able to watch highlights, though, and I thought this game, it was absolutely crazy. I mean, Tennessee, they got off to a hot start. I believe they started out 6-1 over Texas A&M. Yep. And they proved in that game that they were the best team, basically the most consistent team, complete team all season. And A&M, they didn't give up late in the stretch. They put up a fight. They cut it to 6-5, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. But overall, congratulations to Tennessee on their first College World Series in school history.
Yeah, and just to tell you how close this game really was, Tennessee was 6 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. Texas A&M, 5 runs, 13 hits, 1 error.
Wow.
Just right there, very close, almost got it done, and just ended up not happening. But it was an entertaining game from what I caught, but just like you, Colton, the NHL had my attention last night.
Yep.
Yeah, I was also preparing for the draft show that we released yesterday. So, but moving on to NASCAR, where we had a rain-shortened race where Christopher Bell got the win at New Hampshire. Quite an interesting top 10 here. I'll go ahead and list them off.
Yep.
We got C-Bell at the top, Chase Briscoe. I'm going to say Chris Briscoe. Chase Briscoe in second. A lot of stuff around him, possibly becoming Christopher. It's so interesting. That was the top 2 after
And
Bell revealed he's
possibly
probably
this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I bet. After Bell basically just gave it away. I mean, you might as well just, while there's still steam around it, let everybody know. So I'm interested if you guys don't know what we're talking about. I don't think we ever mentioned it. So basically, Christopher Bell kind of let it out that Chase Briscoe, who had been rumored to replace Martin Truex Jr. in the 19, that he will be in that 19 car. So possibly by the time this video comes out, we'll know that Chase Briscoe is in that 19. I'm curious who the sponsor will be for that.
Yeah, does he have any kind of sponsorship to come with him?
Mahindra kind of pulled up for him, I feel like. So I could see them transferring. I could see Bass Pro sticking around because they just sponsor everything.
Yeah,
I was just thinking Bass Pro.
Yeah. I could see them staying there. But going back to this race, Josh Berry in third. This is a guy that's on the hot seat. He needs to perform. A big attraction is at these small tracks like New Hampshire. Performing well there.
He's been racing really well since he quote unquote lost his job.
Yeah.
He's got a top 10 average since I want to say Richmond.
And he's got one of the best crew chiefs in the garage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where do you want to see him go, Colton, since he's on the hot seat?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I would say maybe a front row. I could see him sliding in that 21 car as well if it's open. I know they like that for more of a younger driver, but I mean they had Matty D in there a couple of years ago. So I could see him sticking with Ford at like a front row or 21 ride.
What about you, Ben?
For myself, I would say for right now, I would see him in a front row car. I wouldn't be mad to see him in the 21 at all to replace Harrison Burton. But overall, Josh Berry, he's fighting for a job next year, and he's proven it. So
yeah, rumor has it his crew chief,
Rodney Childers.
Rodney Childers. I was wanting to say Richard Childers. Rodney Childers wants to stick with him.
Yeah.
Of course, money talks, but if it doesn't talk and he sticks with him, that'd be an interesting pairing to see that build. But going down this list still, Kyle Larson, that's no surprise, in 4th place. Chris Buescher in 5th. He had been having a couple rough weeks, so nice to see him back up there. Reddick in 6th. Stenhouse in 7th. John Hunter Nemechek in 8th. Which that's a great run for him. And Stenhouse, I don't know why I just glossed over Stenhouse. Like a top 10 for him isn't crazy. MTJ in 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Ross Chastain. But a shout out to Ryan Preece for actually finishing 11th. So, anything you guys saw from that race?
Well, that's a lot of Stuart Haas racing.
Yeah. It's like maybe Haas is like, well, we're going out with the bang, guys. Here's all the money in the world.
I mean, I'd love to see it. Those drivers all deserve it. They deserve the best cars possible. They deserve to stay. 3 of the 4 deserve to stay in the Cup.
Definitely.
Talking about Priest, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 deserve to stay in the Cup. But the one thing that would interest me, and I throw this out here, and I know I'm talking a little bit crazy. We mentioned Josh Berry. Would you take Josh Berry over Ricky Stenhouse?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I think he probably has a higher upside. I think he's still developing, even though they're about the same age. I think Barry's still developing, whereas Stenhouse, you know what you want to get with Stenhouse.
I'm gonna say, so I don't know a lot about NASCAR contracts and how they work and everything when it comes to that, but wouldn't you consider maybe letting Stenhouse go and getting the Childress Barry team on into 47?
Well, there's a lot of turmoil going on over in that 47 camp. There's questions whether the ownership will be sticking around. And they have one thing they do know is that they've signed Stenhouse to an extension, multi-year extension.
Okay,
So,
yeah, there you go. That kills that.
Yeah, but I do like that idea. It's like maybe they kind of stuck with Stenhouse a little too early and didn't know that Stuart Haas is going to let out, and I think they probably would have benefited from.
Because I mean, crap, Noah even over there would be better.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. But going back to this race over the weekend, a lot of great runs by a lot of guys who are usually at the back. But I think this just proves that it's crunch time, playoffs. They're going to get here before we know it. And these guys, they're proven that they got to keep fighting. And especially with Stuart Haas Racing, Chase Briscoe finishing second, Josh Berry finishing third. These are two guys who are looking in. And Briscoe, he's just 25 points below the cut line. So this is a much-needed run for him for sure.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if they can turn a corner. Ford's also looked better as a whole, so that could have been part of their drought there early, but it'll be interesting to see how they finish out their last season as Stuart Haas. Haas is sticking around with probably Cole Custer, but that's another topic for another day. It is now time for our Winner's Circle. I'll let you guys go ahead and start it off. Ben?
Yep. My winner circle, just like we talked about, I'm going with the Florida Panthers, 2024 Stanley Cup champions. I thought that was a great win last night and great redemption from last year when they lost to Las Vegas in last year's Stanley Cup.
So for me, congratulations to Corey Perry, who now becomes the first player in NHL history to lose not only one, not only two, not only three, but 4 Stanley Cups in 5 years with 4 different teams. Great job, Corey. Don't go to St. Louis.
I didn't know that was that bad.
Yeah.
I knew he had a bad history, but 4 different teams?
In the last 5 years.
Wow.
Dang, that takes talent, honestly. I feel like you have to try to do that.
Yeah, well, like
at least he can get there.
That doesn't mean anything.
I'd rather get there than not be there.
Different when it comes to the cup.
Okay.
To have the cup in my place and not be able to close the deal, no thanks.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Garrett, what do you got? I know you've been working hard over there.
All right, gentlemen. My winner's circle, we talked about it earlier. It's going to be the Tennessee Vols. Congrats to Rocky Top for their first ever College World Series victory in program history. Pains me to say it as an LSU Tigers fan. But they rattled off 2 straight wins to come back from an 0-1 series deficit. They're the first #1 seed to win the College World Series outright since Miami way back in '99.
Wow.
Dylan Dreiling won the College World Series MVP as the Vols slugged their way to victory. Guys, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
I do love baseball.
Yeah, I'm kind of, that's one thing I don't like about the trip is that I missed a lot of the World Series, and by the time I got back, I was just kind of tuned out.
For sure.
Hopefully next year I'll have the time to watch that through and through because it looked like a lot of fun this year. I did catch one of the Kentucky games or that went to extra innings, I believe. Yeah, well, it was still a good game.
Yep.
I respect it. But yeah, so my winner of this week is going to be Major League Baseball because now officially, unless you like left turns, and of course women's basketball, they are the focus of the sports world until NCAA college football comes out with the video game, and then I will not be talking to any of you for a while. Well, I'll be talking to you all, but not in good terms.
I definitely got you.
We'll be enemies. But yeah, so I always kind of tune out of sports at this point, but as you can see, got the Reds jersey on.
Yeah, I also got a Reds jersey on. Garrett, you got
we're
a
all
Reds
tripped out in Reds gear.
One of us didn't get the memo.
But one of us doesn't have the jersey.
Well, in general, it's Reds gear.
It is, in fact, Reds gear. But speaking of the Reds, that's a perfect transition because we're going right into the Reds talk here. We went and watched them lose to the Boston Red Sox. That was a rough one there. Got us a Spencer Steer jersey though, so honestly, that's a net win if you ask me. That they've been all right recently. They've been treading water, I would say.
A little tough week though.
Yeah.
Losing both series to the Pirates and the Red Sox, running out of a game versus the Pirates, running out of a game versus Boston. Still not getting a lot of run support, though. That did change last night.
Yeah, I was going to say they finally start hitting bats when we're not watching, but
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, Josh, series losses to the Pirates and the Red Sox. We just been up and down, just like how the season's been. I mean, great offensive performance last night. The Reds, they're below 500, but I mean, they're still below the cut line to try to make a playoff run. So we got plenty of baseball left, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I mean, more than half. I think it's literally 3/4 of the NL is 3 games or less out of the wild card.
Right.
So the Reds are far from being out of it. Pirates, Cardinals this week. They need to win both series. And
Absolutely.
Not split
Yeah.
not split the series with the Cardinals. They need to win that series because next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at New York, Yankees.
Oh man,
yeah.
Arguably- arguably the hottest team in baseball right now with Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that is going to be a rough series.
Garrett, any thoughts on our loving Reds?
Yeah, let's hear it from Garrett.
Did y'all see Ellie's homer to straightaway center?
Absolute
I don't know if you
bomb.
saw that.
Absolute
What a
Yeah.
nuke.
440 feet on top of the batter's eye. Ellie has the potential to actually hit that Toyota sign.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It's got to happen, right?
going
you
to
think
happen.
so?
Hopefully that'll happen.
Oh, there's.
I think he has to stay at the Reds until he does that. Like, that's the least he can do for us,
We're
right?
gonna add that as a clause in his contract.
It's like you can go to the Dodgers all you want after you hit that sign.
Oh, weird. We just moved the sign over to Newport. You can never leave.
No, that was
I can see him
a
making it there.
towering blast.
Yeah, I was a little butthurt, though. Not to bring up gambling, but, with me, gambling tends to come up.
Yeah, you always got to bring up once an episode, twice.
So last week, every game we played the Pirates, I bet the Missile Cruz home run, both of them hitting, O'Neill and Ellie. Guess what I didn't bet yesterday? Both of them hitting home runs. Guess who both hit home runs?
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. Well,
O'Neill's was a
we know
pretty
what
good
you bet
shot,
on
too.
Sunday too.
We're not going to talk about Sunday. We're not going to talk
We
about
don't
Sunday.
talk about Sunday.
But no, all in all, I mean, they're still right there. They're far from out of it. Like
Yep.
we said, get us back to 500 by the end of the month. They've got a week to do it. It's probably not going to happen, but keep it close.
I mean, they've been close numerous times this season
Yeah.
to try to get back above 500, though. But when we're that close, they just start losing again. It's just unfortunate. But I'm not giving up on them, though. We still got plenty of season left. And one more thing, TJ Friedel is on the IL again.
Yeah, you can't seem to seem
Imagine
healthy.
that. Also, we need to mention Candyman. I mean, come on, this guy has been. And I remember a certain someone not giving too much praise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Earlier in the season. I'm not going to act like I was sitting there defending him like that guy right there, but I will say that I am very pleased to see him doing well because it's good for the team.
Yeah.
But any more you got on the Reds, Garrett, or you say your piece?
So I do want to highlight Levi Jordan. He was the rookie that the Reds called up to replace TJ Friedel while he's on the 10-day IL, and he had a good debut. He had his first at bat. He hit into a ground out that was a really good play by O'Neill Cruz that honestly robbed him of a base hit. Then he hit a sac fly to deep right field on his next at bat, and then just right after that he hit a double off the right field wall, scored the run on the next at bat by Stevenson. So I mean, really. I mean, you had a really good debut for a rookie, so I just congrats, Levi. Way to go.
And then also with him,
Levi's an avid watcher of the podcast.
he also never played right field in his professional career.
Really?
They literally just threw him out in right field, said, "Hey kid, good luck."
That's
And,
the type
wow.
of guy you want to have.
so
Yeah, that's insane. Doing that at any level is incredible. Let alone
professional
top.
level.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's nuts. But yeah, so that's our Reds piece. We'll be talking a lot more baseball as the summer goes on. But we are going to go ahead and move on to the triple threat trivia. Garrett's got a question for us that I'm sure I'll get it this time. But yeah, Garrett, take it away. Oh, also,
Oh,
we have completely lost track of points. So I think, can we agree
July
here?
1st will restart.
July 1st we restart.
July
So
1st.
okay, and from that point on, what's the end game for the points?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out and let you guys know. But all right, Garrett, sorry to interrupt. That just popped in my head because I had no clue where the point standings are.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll have to go back through the episodes and maybe tally them up. Maybe I can do that sometime this week. But Josh might know this one because
Probably.
based on what he was talking about in the NHL segment, I think he probably did a little bit of research. So
Again,
Josh,
He tends to.
Josh might know this. I'd be interested to see if you or Ben know it, Colton. So Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe Trophy despite his team losing in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Can you tell me the last player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy but lose the Stanley Cup, and in what year?
Oh, I can.
Oh,
I know you can,
So
Josh.
me and Ben get 2 guesses before Josh gets a guess.
I'll agree to that, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm literally just going off of the ones I know, like Sidney Crosby.
No.
Okay, these are just like players I would assume to possibly do it. Here's the other one.
Here, let's let Ben. Ben, what you
Yeah,
got?
I mean,
was just
I don't
talking to
know.
myself.
I don't know too much hockey players' names, but this is just a wild guess. Wayne Gretzky.
That actually would have been a good guess.
No.
He's done it before though.
No, actually.
No, he has
I'm gonna
not.
say I
This
figured
is-
anytime he
this
made
is
it.
this is a very deep cut. If you know this, I'd be very impressed.
Oh, then Josh, take it away.
Josh, take it
All
away.
right.
Okay. here's
Josh,
the thing.
you want to just end this for us?
Yeah, okay. I don't know his full name because it's hard to pronounce, so I won't give myself the point.
I have the pronunciation.
But it is the 2013 Anaheim Ducks, and it's their goalie. They lost to the New Jersey Devils in Game 7.
2003.
Oh, 3. Yeah, sorry. Dang.
2003.
So I was wrong anyway.
Isn't that the one? Isn't that the
was-
one that came back? Oh wait, this is a
yeah.
different person.
Different, yeah, totally
Yeah.
different
Oh,
person.
okay.
But they went 7 games, and their goalie still won the trophy despite losing the series.
Yep.
Wow.
Put some respect on his name. Jean-Sébastien Guiguer.
The fact you were able to pronounce that is impressive.
I had to look up a pronunciation.
Yeah, he said that's what was taking so long. He was sitting there trying to figure out how to say the name.
He was a goaltender for the Anaheim Ducks in 2003, and he won the Conn Smythe Trophy as a goalie
Well,
for
you-
the losing team, which
That's
is
impressive.
very impressive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But also, let's emphasize this though. When it comes to the NHL, they do it different than every other sport. Their MVP award is for the entire playoffs,
Yep.
not just the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's why McDavid won it over Bob last night, even though Bob should have won it.
Yeah, you can see the NBA kind of tries to emulate that with the Eastern Conference MVP. Western Conference MVP does not have the same feel whatsoever, though.
No, not at all.
But all right, so that is the triple threat trivia. However, we do have a trivia question for Garrett that's going to lead us into our next segment because on that fateful day, Sunday, he decided that Jamar Chase is the worst wide receiver in the league and that every wide receiver ever is apparently better than him. So Garrett, you've done the research. I'm just going to let you take this away and explain to us who you have over Jamar Chase and why. There is a certain number of players I have written down here that I will accept from you, and I will stay quiet until you exceed that list.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for taking my words out of context. I would expect nothing less.
As always.
I would expect nothing less. Okay, I deep dove on this topic last night because I was honestly surprised because I, like Ben, enjoy looking at stats. And stats-wise, Jamar Chase is good, but there are other players out there that put up better stats than he does across the board. So I came up with a little ranking system for myself. So I looked at, let's see, what did I look at? I looked at total receiving yards, touchdowns, receiving first downs, 20-plus yard receptions, and 40-plus yard receptions. So 5 categories. And the way I ranked the players is if you had better numbers than Jamar Chase in any of the categories, you got a point. If you tied him, you got a half a point. So I went through all these players. I ranked them. If any players were 2.5 or below, I just cut them. And then I ranked all of the other ones that exceeded him. So in my opinion, the 2 most obvious ones, Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill.
I'll
We
accept
agree.
those.
We
I
accept
think
those.
Both
Yep.
of those guys are better receivers than Jamar Chase.
We will accept
currently.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Agreed.
accept.
Agreed.
Okay. My next one, this is probably going to be a bit more controversial, but I'll say CeeDee Lamb.
No, I agree.
Okay.
You agree? Okay,
All
so
right.
that's CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I agree, but I
Yeah,
accept.
Okay.
we'll accept.
We'll
We'll accept.
Okay.
We'll accept.
The next one I
Okay, you
have.
can stop right there.
Stop right there. Okay.
You have literally said my entire three. I
Okay.
got Hill, Lamb, and JJ. So now
In
we are in
Lamb is a
uncharted.
debate.
We're in uncharted territory.
We are now in
I can't
uncharted
wait for this.
territory.
Cannot
Okay.
wait for this.
Okay. My next two that I have.
2. Okay.
Oh yeah. My next two that I have. I picked 5, and then I have 2 that are personal preference that you guys obviously don't agree with.
We know who
But-
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. My next player that I picked is AJ Brown.
Glad he's saving the most controversial one for last.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I could give you
what-
AJ Brown.
Let's hear.
Maybe.
Hold on. Let's hear the stats.
Okay, you want the stats on AJ Brown?
If you
Yes,
got
please.
those.
Okay. All right. So AJ Brown scored a 3.5 on my rating system. He had more total yards than Jamar Chase with 1,456. He had, let's see, where are we? He tied him with the amount of touchdowns. They both had 7 touchdowns. He had more first down receptions than Chase with 70 compared to Chase's 63. And last but not least, he had more 20-plus yard receptions than Chase with 21 compared to Chase's 14. The only thing he didn't beat Chase in was 40-plus yard receptions. So, in my opinion, I think A.J. Brown is the better all-around player just based on my scoring system.
So, how many games played versus Jamar Chase?
I looked that up. They both, I think maybe A.J. Brown played one more game than Chase. I can't remember off the top of my head if Chase played all 17. I think he might have sat out one.
I'm gonna say definitely Chase was out a game last year.
Yeah.
Maybe
He was
even
out.
2.
He was out a couple.
Yeah.
I thought when I was looking at it, I counted 16 games, so I knew at least one.
Okay, so at least one.
Yep.
So, but there's an argument there. That's probably the first like argumentative player that I'd say like, okay, these guys are probably similar level and abilities, but based off of stats, I gotta go AJ Brown for me.
Yeah.
I'll
You
say
also-
he's,
Go ahead.
I'll say he is bigger, he is stronger, and that's about all he has over Jamar Chase. I will take Jamar Chase every day of the week.
Okay, that's fair. Again, this is
Yeah.
opinions.
It is.
That's
His
what I
opinions.
agree with. I
All
think what the main disconnect here is that we know that Jamar Chase is better than these players. It's just a matter of last year he didn't show it. Last year he had a really rough start thanks to Joe Burrow having a pretty rough start.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like, and then ending the season with Jake Browning. So I think you are looking at it from an objective point of view where you just don't care what Jamar Chase is capable of. You're just looking at the stats. There's more behind the stats, if you ask me.
There's definitely a point to that for sure. Josh, what were you gonna say?
I can actually kind of debate that though. Mind you, Jamar put up numbers with Jake Browning,
He
but
did.
Hot take: Jalen Hurts isn't that good.
He's better than Jake Browning.
That I get.
He's better than Joe Burrow at the start of the season. I'm saying
that I
the
agree with,
one-legged
but he's
Joe
not,
Burrow.
Yeah.
But he's not better than Joe Burrow. So
and the two
Jamar gets to
games
play
that we
with
had peak Joe Burrow.
Jamar gets to play with his best friend every single day or
Yeah.
every single game when he's healthy. God, when healthy. But
Yeah.
anyway, so let's go back to the list. All right, there's another one.
There's
though.
another one that like I just don't.
There's a final player on this list that I will say is better than
Keep in
Jamar
mind, Garrett's a
Chase.
Seattle fan.
No, it's not there yet.
We're not.
We're not there yet.
No, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
we're not
There's
there
one more
yet.
stat wise he'd take over, and then there's two
one more.
bias.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
one more stat wise, and there's 2 personal.
apologies,
preference.
my
No,
apologies,
You're okay.
sir.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay, this one is gonna ignite some flames. I know it is, but I don't care. My 5th wide receiver that is better than Jamar Chase is Mike Evans.
Oh man.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
give it to me.
No,
What you got?
no. Okay, so are we talking like? So you're telling me next year you would take Mike Evans over Jamar Chase?
So like I said, I was just looking
We
at
never really
stats
established
last year
that,
and what you did. Also, what Colton just said, we never really established like
Yeah.
criteria for like what I'm like. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
talking about performance last year. Who were the best receivers in the game of football last year?
I think that's the disconnect here is that we were just looking at who we think's the better wide receiver.
Yeah.
Just
Whereas you were
overall?
just looking at last year's stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Mike Evans have 1,000 receiving yards last season?
Absolutely.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did.
Mike Evans,
I got
I
the stats.
honestly kind
He's
of
hit 1,000.
agree.
He's
Mike
hit
Evans might
1,000
be
yards
better.
every time.
That was
in the
one
league.
thing I looked at
I
the
got the
stats and I was
stats.
like, Mike Evans wasn't even talked about at the Reds game.
Yeah,
He never is.
Mike Evans had
Never is, yeah.
Mike Evans had 1,255 receiving yards last year. So
Wow.
not too much more than Jamar Chase, but still beat him out.
He had like a lot of deep receptions too, right? Something like that. Or am I tripping? Thinking of somebody else.
Let's see.
He
I
also
have
played
the
with Baker
stats.
Mayfield.
He
Yep.
did have Baker. So again, another thing.
I think Baker's pretty good.
Another thing that factors into this for me is who you have throwing you the ball. Because if Mike Evans was on the Bengals and had Joe Burrow throwing him the ball,
God.
oh my lord!
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of saw it when Brady was there and Brady was
Yeah.
healthy. The numbers Mike put up were
Exactly.
absurd.
Mike
Yeah.
Evans is a fiend. I'm telling you.
Mike Evans by far is the definition of the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL.
I
Absolutely.
I
I
100% agree.
agree. Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
now that
Glad we're
everybody's
getting
giving
this conversation out there.
now that Keenan Allen is getting the respect he deserves going to Chicago, even though he was putting up crazy numbers out there with the Chargers, the most underrated wide receiver and future Hall of Famer is Mike Evans.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that.
Okay, so we've kind of
Okay.
agreed to disagree so far.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have two personal preferences,
Yes,
so
I-
you just like these players
I do
more
have-
than Jamar
I
Chase.
do have two personal players. Yes.
And this is how it all started.
I will
And-
not. I will
yeah.
not be accepting arguments because we have to get rolling.
This is true.
My two
Wait,
personal.
this doesn't seem fair.
I'm the director.
All right, buddy.
my two personal picks over Jamar Chase, and this will inflame a lot of people. And again, don't care. My opinion. Let's see. I will go with DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks,
It get worse.
and I will go with Deebo Samuel.
Oh yeah, I forgot
San
about
Francisco
Debo.
49ers.
That's got to be the craziest take of the 21st century, dude. It's
That is
right
crazy.
here on the podcast.
I disagree.
Debo Samuel
I
over
disagree.
Jamar Chase is insane.
I disagree.
He's
I
not even
looked-
the best wide receiver on his
What do the
team.
stats say?
No,
What do the
he's
stats
not.
say? What do the stats say?
Okay, I'll show you the stats. Again, okay, Josh, you said he's not the best receiver on his team. I looked at Brandon Ayuk as well. On my rating system, they scored out the same when compared
Your rating
to
system
Jamar
doesn't
Chase.
mean shit.
My rating system just gave me the 5 best wide receivers in the NFL last season. So,
Did you base it off of who's better than Jamar Chase?
I literally explained the parameters.
I
You
get
explained
it. I
it.
respect
I'm
it.
just
Yeah.
joking.
Okay, so let's see. Where's my Deebo Samuel stats? Okay, Deebo Samuel scored a 2.5, which put him on par with Jamar Chase. Like Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel both scored a 2.5, which put them on par with Jamar Chase, and I could honestly flip either one of them out
Okay.
with the other.
So are you saying they're better or they're on par?
He's saying on par, but he would
I'm
take
saying-
But
it.
he
I'm
would,
saying
he would
on par.
personally
I'm-
take them better.
So I'm saying on par, but on any given day, they can have a much better day than Chase does.
In what sense? Like as a running back or a
No, he's
Wide
a-
receiver.
Deebo's a pass catcher. Now, granted, most of his passes come from behind the line of scrimmage, but it doesn't matter because he makes plays with his legs.
He made sure he got on camera to do it.
You know what? We will definitely come back to
I
this.
think this will definitely have to be. We'll put a pin in it for now, and
Yeah.
we come back to it later.
Yeah, we'll debate. We'll debate some more on this.
However,
gentlemen. we have to get
Debo Samuel. We need to get going. We
Yeah,
need to-
so-
we need to
That
get
being
going.
said, though, we do have an idea that came up after we discussed on Sunday the whole ordeal of who is going to be the best wide receiver, who we would take over Jamar, so on and so forth. So I came up with a chart, and this chart was based off of kind of the guy who stole the headlines this past week, and of course I lost those notes. I apologize. Pete Prisco released his NFL top 100 players of 2024. It's really weird. I don't see DK Metcalf or Deebo Samuel on there. anyway, but more importantly though, so Pete Prisco released his NFL top 100 players of 2024. From there, I took the top 5 players and put them in order for pricing. Your job is to create a team using only $15. I'll let you two kind of look over the team and see how you'll do it. But personally for me, in the beginning, I debated just do $3 across the board. You get Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Sam Laporta, and Micah Parsons. However, let's be honest, there's one player who is clearly the best player in the NFL, so I'm going to pay the $5 for Patrick Mahomes. It's going to happen. I think running back is very overrated, so I'll pay the $1 for Saquon Barkley. Wide receiver, I'll take the price, and I'll take CeeDee Lamb at $2. So basically, I'm now sitting at $8, and then I'm going up, and I'm getting Patrick Mahomes' best friend and Kelsey. So that puts me at 13, leaving me with Bosa as my D end. I will gladly take that every day of the week.
I also have the sheet. I'll go ahead and throw that up here really quick so
Okay.
folks at home can follow along. That's what we're looking at. And Colton, you can throw that in the corner for when we're naming our teams.
Right.
All right. Either one of you guys.
Colton, you want to go?
I'll go ahead here. I'll just for the sake of being different, because that's the first thing I thought. Like $5 for the best QB in the league, as much as I hate to admit it, would be nice. I'll go ahead and be the Bengals fan. I'll take Burrow as my QB. I'll go with Saquon for sure as my running back. I mean, come on. And then I'm going to go ahead and pair him up with Justin Jefferson. I find it interesting they have Hill over Jefferson.
I can see it, though. Honestly, I mean, they are 1A, 1B, in my opinion.
Fair.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see if Jefferson had Tua thrown to him, which
Also
me and
true.
Garrett can agree on. So I got $3 for Burrow. I got $1 for Saquon. That has me at 4. And then, I have to do math on my own. So this is going to be difficult.
4 for Jefferson. That's
4
8.
for Jefferson. That's 8. So I have to
$7.
get a tight end and an edge, and I have
Yep.
$7 to do that. Okay, just making sure I'm on pace here. As for a tight end, I have 8. So I have $7 to do it. I'm gonna go with Kittle, or not Kittle. I'm gonna go with Hawkinson at $3.
$1. Laporta's 3.
Oh, that's Laporta too.
Yep.
I got. They're both 87. They both played for the Lions. Give me a break.
Hawkinson now plays for Minnesota.
Yeah. He's down there at 1. So I'll take Laporta at $3. Give me Watt for $4, rounding out my $15.
All right. I like that. So for $3, I will take Joe Burrow as my quarterback.
You homers.
Yeah, I guess I should have gone Lamar.
I'll take $4 for Justin Jefferson. So that is 7. Yep. Running back. I can't tell from here. Who are the running backs again?
It's McCaffrey at 5, Derrick Henry at 4, Jonathan Taylor at 3, Gibbs at 2, and Barkley at 1.
Can we talk about Barkley at 1 and
So I'll.
Henry at 4?
We can after.
Okay,
after
sorry, I didn't mean to break your train of thought.
You're all good. You're all good. So I'll take McCaffrey for my running back. That'll be $5. So 5 for
$12. So you got
$12
$3 left.
$3 left. All right.
So basically either Andrews, Hawkinson, or Bosa and Max Crosby.
Basically, the bottom right corner of the screen.
I'll go with that tight end for Detroit. What's his name? Laporta?
All right, you don't have $3. So you got either Andrews or Hawkinson.
Oh, Andrews or Hawkinson. My bad.
Yeah. So either you pay $2 for Andrews or you pay $1 for Hawkinson.
Oh, let's do Andrews.
Or you pay $2
And then
for
you got
Bosa.
and then you got $1 for Max Crosby. So that's your team.
Crosby. Yep.
Fair enough. Garrett, do you have your 5?
Yeah, you got a 5?
I actually do, gentlemen.
Oh, all right, let's see it.
I'll rattle them off here
See it,
really
Mr.
quick.
Sir. Where's Debo at?
I
I don't
am
see
with. Y'all need to stop.
Hey, he's saving money. $0
dude's
for
taking
both.
all the $1
$0
players.
for Debo. I'm about to take it. Let's see. I'm in agreement with Josh. The best player is worth the $5, getting Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I will also take Saquon Barkley at running back.
That's just a
Josh,
steal.
Josh, remind me of your team again.
I went Mahomes, Barkley, Lamb, Kelsey, Bosa.
Okay. So I am gonna have the same I'm gonna have the same receiver you do as well. I'll take Barkley. So that gives me what, $7?
Well, that's running back.
Oh, not
You
CeeDee
meant
Lamb.
Lamb.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I meant Lamb.
I got
Sorry,
you.
I got you. CeeDee Lamb, that gives me $7. Let's see. I'll take George Kittle for 4, and then I'll do Bosa for 2. And that should be 15, I think.
So you want to be like me? It's okay. Keep
Yeah.
down
It's a
inside.
good team.
What's the saying?
You organized a good team.
Yeah.
Copying is the something
yeah,
about imitation.
yeah,
It's too early for me to remember.
Yeah, but I do want to say there was 2 things I did want to bring up when I'm looking at this chart. Mind you, this dude literally made the top 100 players. I give him a lot of credit. I can never do it. One, how is Aaron Rodgers the number 5 quarterback in the NFL this year?
Is he?
No.
That's bizarre.
Last
No.
year?
No, this is this year. He's
This
saying
year.
in 2024, Aaron Rodgers is the 5th
Well,
best
he doesn't
quarterback.
even have him as a. He has him in the Green Bay Packers uniform.
Well, no, I got lazy and I didn't feel like digging deep.
That's right. I forgot you made
Yeah,
these.
I got lazy. I got lazy. So yeah, that was that. So that was my thing. How's Aaron Rodgers number 5? And then like you said, Derrick Henry being number 4 over Barkley is a little bit of a hot take.
He's being number 2. He's $4. He's being voted as number 2.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
But I mean, Barkley, when healthy, I think he's easily number 2.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But also, since we had the NBA show, we also wanted to do an NBA one. The NBA one came a little bit easier. I just cheated the system, and what I did was first team All NBA, second team All NBA, third team All NBA, and then the 5 next top voters in order of how they went. So, gentlemen,
I will go ahead and throw up that graphic now as well.
All right.
That is
All right.
our tier
All right.
list. I'll
Yeah,
leave
so-
that up there for a little while.
yeah, so for me, I will go ahead and read this off first. At point guard, I'll spend the $3 for Tyrese Halliburton. At shooting guard, I will spend the $4 on Ant. I will then go down and spend $1 on Ben Curo. Nobody comment. So that leaves me $7. I'll spend $3 on LeBron. No, $2 on Wemby, and that leaves me $5 for Joker. So yeah, Halliburton, Ant, Ben Curo, Wemby, and Joker. Good luck beating that.
I hate to be this guy. However, is this supposed to be ordered by position, or is it just kind of hogwash?
So originally,
That's kind of like the actual
correct.
NBA.
Yeah, it's kind of like the NBA. No, I mean the NBA has become a positionless sport. I
Right.
kind of lined it up as point guard, shooting guard. So if you want to take 2 from the
Oh,
same
it's like
row,
Steph Curry, my favorite shooting guard.
so I put them in the right because I mean Halliburton's quote unquote more of a point guard than Curry, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's why I designed it that way.
That's fair.
And then I went Booker would be playing the 3 at that time. But if you wanted to take all 3 of those or 2 point guards, quote unquote, you could take 2 point guards. That doesn't matter. Just
Right.
design your team. I just went with what I would have.
Okay. Do you want to go, Ben?
Yeah, why not?
Go right
All
ahead.
right. So for $5, I will take Luca for my point guard. I will take Tatum, another 5.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
expensive. You got $5 left for 3 players.
Yep. We'll go De'Aaron Fox, NBA cat. Go with Zion and
So you got $3 left.
$3. So 5, 10.
And 1 and 1. So you got $3.
Oh, $3.
Yep.
Okay. We'll do SVG and
That's it.
that's
that
it.
was your 5, yeah.
okay.
Because
My
you said
bad.
Zion. And then who did you take?
Zion, Luca. Did I say
You said SVG, and that's where I was
SVG and De'Aaron Fox and Tatum? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Man, this is harder because there's so many directions I could go. Steph Curry, my point guard. Jaylen Brown, my shooting guard. Give me my big as... I'm going to go ahead and spend on Jokic. Or actually, I'm going to go back and I'm going to spend on Giannis because we already have ball handlers. We don't need Jokic to pass the ball. So give me Giannis. So that's 5 plus 3 plus 2. That's 10. So I got $5 left for my last 2. I am going to go ahead and get LeBron James. And you know what? Let's go tall ball. Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I like that.
I can't wait to see what the Spurs do. Like,
For sure.
With Wemby.
Yeah. I in the draft I'll talk about it, but Wemby and a couple guards in this draft could be very scary.
Definitely.
Enough of all the fun and games, Garrett.
For
you don't.
$15, give me Tingus Pingus.
There you go.
That's all
I
I
was say
need.
that's all Garrett got from this playoff was Tingus Pingus.
Tingus Pingus against the world.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
All
boy.
right. So we're going to wrap up the show. Like I said, a little quicker. We had another show to record right after this that you'll be seeing before this because scheduling. Thanks to the NBA moving to Wednesday. But anyways, enough of that. it's time for the 2-minute warning. You want to play music for the 2-minute warning, Garrett? Maybe. Well, all right. Well, we're running out of time. We'll bring it next week.
All right.
Josh,
Long
take
music.
it away.
All right. So our guest on the previous show, Logan Fulmer, released an article of the most underrated players on each NFL team entering 2024 and named these 2 quarterbacks. So Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. Which one are you picking, Colton?
Oh, Kyler Murray by far. I agree. Kyler Murray is one of the most, if not the most, underrated player in the NFL.
Wow. All right, Ben.
I 100% agree. Kyler Murray, one of the most underrated players, and if he's healthy, he can do some serious stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't want either one of them, so I'm refusing to pick. Also,
The
all right.
Kyler Murray hate is insane. Same with Tua. Like, this guy.
Yeah, I can't help it. All right, so Detroit remains the only team searching for a head coach, and let's be honest, they're not going to hire a good one anyways. So, of the 6 new head coach hires, which one is your favorite? Ben.
Love the Detroit hate, by the way.
I think as of right now, I'm going with Kenny Atkinson for the Cleveland
I took
Cavaliers.
it right out of my mouth. I think he made D'Lo look like a future All NBA player.
Yep.
I just want the circus. I love the JJ Redick hire.
It'll be the most entertaining hire for sure.
And
That's a bad move.
We will hit the halfway point this week. So World Series picks, have they changed? Me, yes. The Braves are not going to make it without Acuna. So I'm going to go Orioles over the Dodgers.
Hey, welcome to the Orioles side because I'm staying right here, baby.
For myself, I'm going with the Cleveland Guardians over the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Fair enough. And then NASCAR invades Nash Vegas this weekend, where Chevy has won 3 of the last times. Who do you guys have winning this weekend, Ben?
Unfortunately, it's not going to be a Chevy this week. I'm going with Martin Truex Jr.
Fair enough, Colton.
I'm hitting with Kyle Larson. It's time for him to kind of separate himself from the rest of the field. It just feels like one of those years for him.
For me, it's the Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain.
You've been
Back to
saying that
back.
for a while now.
Gonna keep going with it.
All right. Well, that is all we have for today. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button. We had our draft show yesterday with Logan Fulmer. That was a blast. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to go give that a watch. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Norse Benchwarmers Podcast. We at 100 subscribers. Wait, is that for? That's for
On YouTube.
Okay. Well, you went from YouTube to Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Yeah, that's our producer right there for you. I'm just kidding. Love you, Josh. But
Still
But-
better host.
all right, we'll have to do a vote on that.
Wrap it up already.
Anyways, I'm trying to wrap it up. You got me distracted, so we'll be giving our first giveaway at 100 subscribers. So be sure to subscribe so you can be a part of that. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, all of the co-hosts here today. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.